Dear faculty, as you are likely aware, recent gossip surrounding Princess Twilight Sparkle and former faculty members Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash has become a prevalent topic among students. While these rumors have no bearing on the integrity of our esteemed school, or the dedication these individuals have shown to their students in the past, it is important that we handle the situation with care and professionalism. Effective immediately, please adhere to the following guidelines if students raise questions or discussions about this matter during class or other school activities. Number 1, maintain focus on curriculum. Kindly remind students that our primary goal is to foster their learning and growth. Encourage them to stay focused on their studies and extracurricular activities, rather than on unsubstantiated rumors. Number 2, discourage gossip. While it is natural for students to be curious, it is vital to reinforce the importance of respect and discretion. Remind them that spreading rumors or engaging in gossip goes against the principles of kindness and understanding that we uphold at the School of Friendship. Number 3, neutral and non-judgmental responses. If students press for your opinion, respond neutrally. You may say, "This is a personal matter for those involved, and it's not appropriate for us to speculate. Let's focus on what we can learn and achieve together." Number 4, redirect conversations. If discussions become disruptive or detract from the learning environment, gently steer the conversation back to the lesson. Offer alternative topics of discussion that align with the school's mission. Number 5, provide emotional support. For students who express genuine concern or confusion about the situation, listen empathetically. If needed, refer them to the guidance counselor for further support. Number 6, confidentiality and professionalism. Please refrain from sharing personal opinions about the situation with students or colleagues. Remember, our role as educators is to set an example of maturity and discretion. Let us continue to uphold the values that make the School of Friendship a beacon of harmony and understanding. If you have any questions or need further support in addressing this topic, please do not hesitate to reach out to my office. Thank you for your cooperation and commitment to our students' well-being. Sincerely, Vice Principal Sunburst.
To Vice Principal Sunburst and Head Mayor Starlight Glimmer. From the great and compassionate Trixie Lulamoon. Subject: Trixie's deeply insightful concerns about students and gossip. Esteemed Starlight, or Glimglam, as Trixie affectionately calls you, and, well, Sunburst, Trixie has noticed a very troubling trend among the students that requires her unparalleled wisdom to address. An increasing number of young ponies have been coming to Trixie for guidance, obviously because she's the most approachable and relatable faculty member, about the nasty gossip circulating about certain ponies. It appears that poor Applejack is the primary target of these rumors, although Princess Twilight Sparkle and Rarity are also being dragged through the mud. And while Trixie would never miss an opportunity to jab at Twilight in private, it is clear this situation has gone too far, even for Trixie's standards of hysterical humor. These students are upset, some because their so-called friends are parroting nonsense, and others because their parents are spewing this garbage at home. It has become clear to Trixie that these impressionable young minds are struggling to reconcile this drama with what they've been taught here at the School of Friendship, a curriculum Trixie has significantly improved, of course. It deeply troubles Trixie to see this impacting their friendships and personal growth. It's simply unacceptable. And while Trixie has been magnificent in comforting these poor students, even she cannot solve this issue alone. Can you imagine? A problem too big for Trixie. Therefore, Trixie suggests, no, insists that we organize an assembly or some small group of discussions to address this head-on. Trixie would be delighted to dazzle the students with a heartfelt lecture on the dangers of gossip and how truly amazing ponies, like herself, rise above it. Perhaps a few other faculty members could contribute as well, although they won't be nearly as captivating, but she is willing to share her stage. Now, as much as Trixie loves watching Twilight flail her way through public scrutiny, she grudgingly admits that this whole situation is a threat to what the School of Friendship stands for. There, Trixie said something nice about Twilight. Are you happy now? The students need to see that what's being said about Applejack, Rarity, and Twilight isn't the full picture, and they need tools to stand up against these toxic narratives. Trixie is, as always, happy to lead this effort, but she will graciously allow input from the rest of you. Let's act quickly before the students' minds are poisoned further by the outside world's nonsense. You're welcome for Trixie's brilliance. The great and caring Trixie Lulamoon, School of Friendship Guidance Counselor Extraordinaire.
Internal message to Trixie Lulamoon from Head Mare Starlight Glimmer. Subject: Read. Trixie's deeply insightful concerns about students and gossip. Trixie, first of all, thank you for bringing this to our attention with your uniquely Trixie flair. I can always count on you to phrase serious concerns in a way that's equal parts alarming and entertaining. I do genuinely appreciate how much you care about the students, even if you like to frame it as them being drawn to you for your unmatched magnificence. That said, you're absolutely right. This situation is unacceptable and it's hurting our students in ways we can't ignore. Gossip like this, especially when it involves ponies as important to Equestria as Twilight, Applejack, and Rarity, is bound to trickle down into conversations here at the school. It's clear that some of the students are struggling to process what they're hearing and how it affects their views of friendship and trust. Your suggestion to address the issue directly is a good one. Don't let that go to your head. I agree that we should organize something to help the students navigate this. A group discussion or assembly might be a good starting point, but we'll need to approach it delicately. We can't come across as though we're taking sides or lecturing them. It needs to be a safe space for them to share their thoughts and feelings without judgment. And yes, Trixie, you can absolutely play a role in this. Your ability to connect with the students, and your not-so-secret soft spot for Twilight, will make a big difference. Maybe instead of a lecture, you could help lead one of the smaller group discussions? You're great at making ponies feel seen and heard, even if you like to remind them how much better you are while doing it. I'll coordinate with Sunburst to figure out the logistics, since he already sent a letter out to the parents. Let's aim for a united front on this, not just as faculty, but as examples of how friendship can prevail even in tough situations. Thank you again for your insight and for taking this seriously. I know your heart's in the right place, even if your ego gets there first. From Starlight Glimmer.
The great and sagacious Trixie's absolutely brilliant preparation notes for the small group discussion on gossip and friendship. Objective: show the students how gossip is harmful and boring, and that friendship and understanding are way more magical than spreading nasty rumors about ponies who have done way more for Equestria than the average pony could ever dream of. Opening statement delivered with maximum charm. The great and powerful Trixie welcomes you to this very special discussion, where we will uncover the truth about gossip, how it poisons friendships, and why it is far less dazzling than honesty and trust. Who better to lead this than the pony who knows how to captivate an audience without tearing others down? That's right, me. Key points to cover with flair. Number 1, what gossip does to friendships. Trixie knows how tempting it can be to share a juicy story, but let's think about this. Would you want your friends talking behind your back? No! Gossip makes trust disappear faster than one of Trixie's vanishing acts. Number 2, why it hurts more than just the target. Don't be sarcastic when talking about Twilight. Now is not the time for personal feelings about her. Sure, Applejack, Rarity, and Princess Twilight have been through a lot, but it's not just them who get hurt. The ponies spreading rumors also lose their credibility. Trust Trixie. She knows how important it is to have an audience that believes in you. Number 3, better ways to handle curiosity. Instead of speculating or believing everything you hear, try asking yourself, what would my hero Trixie do? The answer is always something graceful and wise, like seeking the truth directly or realizing it's none of your business. Number 4, the importance of being loyal and kind. Maybe cite Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy here. They were always popular with students, though not as popular as Trixie. Applejack and Rarity have been nothing but kind and loyal to Equestria. And Twilight is, well, Twilight. She's brilliant, dedicated, and always puts others before herself, even when it's exhausting just to watch her. If they were here, they'd probably remind every pony to think about how you'd feel in their place. It's hard to tell how students feel about Twilight, Applejack, and Rarity right now with all the media nonsense, but the great and understanding Trixie knows how important it is to remind them why they have earned respect in the first place. Let's use this discussion to clear away some of the doubts and practice a little empathy, okay? Note to self, find something genuinely nice to say about Twilight that even the skeptical students can agree with and stick to it. No sarcasm, now is not the time. Activities. Yes, Trixie has a plan. The rumor relay. Whisper a made-up story to one student and have them pass it along. By the end, it'll be hilariously wrong, proving how unreliable gossip can be. Trixie will, of course, make sure this exercise stays fun and not mean-spirited. It is a performance after all. Think like a hero. Ask each student to name one thing they admire about Twilight, Applejack, or Rarity, and how those traits inspire them to be better friends. This is where I'll point out that even the most heroic ponies make mistakes, but that doesn't mean they deserve to be judged unfairly. Note to self, should Trixie bring up her own past as a boastful, revenge-seeking, somewhat manipulative, but always stylish, pony and how she turned it around? Would that help students see that ponies can grow beyond their mistakes and deserve respect no matter what others might say about them? Additional note to self, ask Starlight if she'd like to casually drop in during this part of the discussion and share her own story about being a cutie mark-stealing despot who learned the value of friendship. Students might take this lesson more seriously coming from the headmare. Not that Trixie's wisdom isn't enough, of course. Closing statement, dramatic yet humble. Trixie is confident that you all now see how harmful gossip can be, especially when it's spread by those who care more about sensational stories and selling gossip rag newspapers than the truth. It's not just words. It affects lives. Applejack, Twilight, and Rarity have done so much for Equestria, and they deserve better than to be judged by baseless rumors. Let's promise to rise above that kind of negativity, to support each other, and to practice the kind of loyalty, kindness, generosity, and honesty they and the former elements of harmony have shown us. And yes, Trixie will say it. Princess Twilight, brilliant, determined, always putting others first, deserves our respect. So do Applejack and Rarity, no matter what rumor mongers want you to think. Thank you for attending this most enlightening discussion, led, of course, by the great and empathetic Trixie! Reminders for Trixie, so she doesn't forget. Stay patient. Not every pony will immediately see the brilliance of your wisdom. Avoid saying outright that Twilight can be annoying, even if you think it. Back up what Sunburst said in his letters to parents. If a student mentions something troubling, try not to overreact. Leave the serious stuff to Starlight. Trixie is the most engaging counselor. Own it.
Dear Rarity, I hope you're holding up okay. I've been thinking a lot about you and Applejack recently, and I just wanted to check in. With everything that's been happening, the gossip, the rumors, the constant media circus, I know it's been really rough on both of you. It's just so unfair, and I can't even imagine what it's like to have your personal lives hung out for the public to pick at like this. Especially when you've all worked so hard to build your lives and relationships. I'd invite you to stay at the castle in Canterlot to weather the storm, but I think at this stage that might do more harm than good. Applejack wrote to me. I'm really concerned about her. I'm not sure if I should be sharing this with you, but I need your advice. She's been really hard on herself, blaming herself for how everything's unfolded. She hasn't spoken much to any pony and seems to be bottling everything up. You know how stubborn she can be. But this time feels different. I can tell this whole situation is eating at her so much more than she's letting on. She's struggling, Rarity, and I don't know how to help her. Twilight's also worried about her, especially because Applejack hasn't written or talked to her since this all started. Twilight's been trying to stay focused, but she's upset. I can tell the whole situation is really weighing on her. The canceling of the welcome back party at Sweet Apple Acres didn't help either. She's worried that Applejack might be shutting every pony out, and I don't know how to fix that. I've been debating whether to share Applejack's letter with Twilight, but I don't want to betray her trust. I just don't know what's the best thing to do here. That's why I'm asking you. What should I do? Should I give Twilight the letter, or is this something I should keep to myself? I know you've been so strong throughout all of this, but this must be hard on you too. You've always been around to keep your composure, but I can't help but worry about how much all this is taking its toll on you. I just wanted to check in on you and see how you're holding up. Please take care of yourself, Rarity. I'm here for you, and I'm thinking of both you and Applejack. You're not going through this alone. Your friend, Spike.
Dear Spikey Wikey, thank you for your letter. It honestly means so much to me right now. I don't think I can fully express how much your support helps, even from afar. Things have been difficult, to say the least, and hearing from you always brings a little peace to my heart. Since my name has started appearing in those awful articles, I haven't left Carousel Boutique once. The paparazzi and the reporters have practically set up camp outside my door. I think I even saw a tent yesterday. I don't dare step outside to give them fuel for their horrible stories. It's been very isolating, but I've had some comfort in the form of Pinkie Pie, who's been staying with me these past few days. She's managed to sneak in through the sewer pipes, yes, you read that correctly, and popped up through my toilet of all things, just to avoid the media outside. As absurd as it sounds, it's been a relief to have her here. It's been so comforting to have somebody around, especially someone who knows how to keep things light in the midst of all this madness. Even though we've had to keep the blinds closed most of the time, it's nice to feel like there's some semblance of normalcy in my house while the situation outside feels anything but. I haven't been able to visit Applejack yet, though I've been sending her letters through Derpy Hooves. The dear mail mare has been so kind to deliver them despite the media circus. I can only wish poor Applejack knew she didn't have to carry this burden alone. I've tried to reach out, but she's not responding, and it worries me. I just wish I could be there for her physically, but with everything going on, I'm stuck here. Sweetie Belle and our parents are doing their best to weather this storm. They are trying to shield Sweetie from the worst of it, but the gossip is spreading so quickly, and it's hard to protect her completely from the vile things ponies are saying. I was surprised when Sweetie stuck back from Appaloosa with the buffalo to be here when she heard about what was happening. She was so determined to be here for me, even if it meant coming all the way in secret. I know I should be angry with her, but I'm just glad she's safe and rather touched she loves her big sister so much. She has been incredibly brave through all of this, but it is tough on her and my parents. I just want to keep them safe from all of this. Trying to keep my head held high in the face of all this negativity hasn't been easy. I've been working hard to build Carousel Boutique into something I'm proud of, so having it overshadowed by these rumors is so disheartening. Every time I step into the shop, it feels as though the walls are closing in. Having Pinkie around has been such a comfort. Her laughter, her light, her presence has helped me so much to keep my focus and remember that there are still good ponies in this world. I don't know how I would be holding up without her. Thank you again for your letter, Spike. It is hard to put into words how much it helps to know that I have your friendship and support during this. We all get through this together in one way or another. Take care of yourself, Hand of Twilight. I'll be holding on as best I can. Rarity.
Dear Maudie, oh my rockiest, most marvelous Maud! I hope you and Mudbear are having the best time at the rock farm. Tell him I said hi, and Pinkie is still suspicious of his rock knowledge. I'm just kidding, Maud. Kinda. I bet it's all so peaceful there with no paparazzi, no gossip, and no reporters lurking around. So lucky. Okay, now here's the big news. Brace yourself. This is so crazy. So, you know how Ponyville's gone completely bananas with all the media circus about Rarity and the others? Well, I just couldn't stand to let her be stuck all alone in Carousel Boutique with reporters everywhere. I had to do something to be there for her. So, I crawled through the sewer system to get to her. Yep, you heard me right. I went full ninja mode, slid through the pipes, and popped up in her bathroom. She didn't know I was coming, so her face when I jumped out of the toilet was just priceless. She screamed, but then she was so happy to see me. Then she made me shower so she could give me a hug without getting dirty. She even let me use her expensive French shampoo. It was the best. I didn't have much of an exit plan. Rarity says that she's not happy about the idea of me going back out through the toilet again, so she insisted I stayed. And you know what, Maud? Living with Rarity has been amazing. Seriously, she is like the most graceful and beautiful pony in the world, even when she's got all this media junk happening. We've had to keep the blinds closed so no one can see us being all cozy and get the wrong idea. Especially after what almost happened to Rainbow Dash when she tried to get involved to stop all this yucky gossip. But it's actually kind of nice just to hang out, chat, and eat snacks together. And I've been helping her with some designs. She's so talented, Maud. She's like a fashion wizard, and I love being around her so much. I think she likes having me here too. Not that I'm bragging. But seriously, Maud, I know how much you love Ponyville, but I'd really recommend you stay at the rock farm a bit longer. Your reporters are even worse now than when you left for your trip home. I don't want you to get stuck with them asking you questions about your friendships with Twilight, Applejack, and Rarity. Just tell Limestone and Marble that I'm keeping them in my thoughts. And a few surprise cupcakes will be headed their way soon via Derpy Hooves mailbag. You're welcome. Stay safe, okay? The last thing I want is for you to end up in some ridiculous tabloid with a headline like, Maud Pie, the silent sister who knows all the secrets. Yeah! Please give Mom and Dad a big hug from me. Tell them I'm doing okay and I've been having fun. As much as I can while being trapped in a boutique. I promise to be back soon. But right now, I've got to help Rarity keep her spirits high and help with her wardrobe crises. Because you know how that goes. Okay, Maudie. Tell Mudbriar I said, I still don't trust your opinion that sticks are better than rocks, but I'll let it slide because Maud loves you. Lots of love, and sugar and cupcakes. Your ever-bouncing Pinkie Pie.
Internal message from Derpy Hooves to Equestria Mail Head Office. Subject, request for danger pay, Ponyville mail deliveries. Dear Equestria Mail Head Office, I'm writing to formally request consideration for danger pay during my mail delivery shifts in Ponyville. As you know, the recent media situation has caused maintaining mail service in Ponyville to become increasingly difficult. Between the paparazzis and all the reporters, it's nearly impossible to deliver and pick up the mail without attracting attention and encountering some very uncomfortable situations. There are groups of reporters everywhere. Some even camp outside Carousel Boutique in Sweet Apple Acres. And I had to take extra precautions to make sure the mail gets to where it needs to go. There are even times where I had to find alternative routes just to avoid them, including through the Everfree Forest. I've been doing my best to keep the mail flowing and ensure that all letters and packages are delivered without delay. but it's been a real challenge. With the circumstances being what they are, I would like to request some danger pay for the extra effort and risks involved in delivering the mail during this difficult time. I'm sure you could understand the challenges I'm facing, and I would greatly appreciate your support in this matter. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Sincerely, Derpy Hooves, Ponyville Mail Delivery Pony.
Response from Equestria Mail Head Office to Derpy Hooves. Subject: Approval of Danger Pay, Ponyville Mail Deliveries. Dear Derpy Hooves, thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. We've reviewed your request for Danger Pay and, after careful consideration, are happy to inform you that we will be granting the requested temporary wage increase for your mail deliveries in Ponyville. We commend your hard work, dedication, and continued efforts to keep the mail flowing despite the challenging circumstances. Your commitment to your duties is greatly appreciated, and we commend you for upholding the integrity of the Equestria Mail service. Please visit the Equestria Mail Head Office at your earliest convenience to sign the necessary forms for this temporary raise. Our office hours remain unchanged. Once again, thank you for your excellent service during these trying times. Your contribution is vital, and we are grateful for everything you do to support the Equestria Mail system. Best regards, Equestria Mail Head Office.
Dear Applejack, I don't know how to start this, but I need you to know that I am so sorry for everything that has happened. I've been feeling helpless, watching as everything you, Rarity, and the others have worked for is being torn apart by these lies, and I'm at a loss for how to make it stop. If I could fix it all, I would in a heartbeat. I've been thinking about you a lot. You and Rarity both. Neither of you deserved this. I just want you to know that I'm so sorry for all of it. I never wanted this to happen. I wish I could do more. I would give anything to take your pain away. But I'm not sure how to fix this. It feels like no matter what I do, the situation keeps spiraling out of control. I want you to know that I'm doing everything I can on my end, but I'm not sure what will be effective without making things worse. I know that I can't intervene publicly without drawing even more attention, and I don't want to cause you any more harm by making rash decisions. I'm stuck between wanting to fix everything using my role as princess and fearing that if I act too hastily, it'll just give the press more fuel to keep going. Please know that I'm still here, even if you don't want to be around me right now. I completely understand that you need your space, and if this means that you don't want to be friends anymore, I will respect that. But I want you to have the option to reach out to some pony if you ever feel ready. I have sent you an enchanted stone with this letter. If you ever want to talk to someone outside the farm, just rub it against the letter you write, blow on it, and it'll send it through Dragonfire to its intended recipient or recipients. I know it might be hard to reach out to others right now, and I don't want to put more pressure on you, but I also don't want you to feel isolated at Sweet Apple Acres. If nothing else, I also want you to know that I'm thinking of you. I'll keep trying to find ways to help, even if you don't want me involved. Just please take care of yourself. I'm hoping that somehow we'll get through this together. You mean so much to me. You're my friend, and you're never alone, Applejack, even if it feels like it sometimes. Please, take care of yourself. Twilight Sparkle.
Twilight, thanks for the enchanted stone. It worked like a charm. I appreciate it. I've been quiet for a while, and I'm sorry about that. The truth is, I didn't really know what to say. The whole situation with the gossip has been a mess, and I just didn't want to make things worse. I guess I've been avoiding it all, hoping it would just go away. I didn't want to say anything that might hurt you or make things more complicated. I know it's been too long and I should have written sooner. I'm not great at dealing with stuff like this. I didn't mean to shut you out. I just didn't know how to respond. I don't want to lose your friendship, Twilight. I know I can't keep avoiding this. I just need some time to figure things out. But I'm here, and I'll be using the stone when I need to talk. Take care. Applejack.
Applejack, thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me to hear from you at last. I've been worried, but now that I know you're okay, I feel like a weight has lifted off my shoulders. I completely understand why you needed space, and I'm sorry if I made you feel pressured. The last thing I want is for you to feel like you have to write to me before you're ready. You don't need to explain yourself. I just appreciate you being honest with me. You've been through so much. I know how hard this situation is for you, especially when the whole world seems to be watching. But please, know that you are not alone in this. I'm here for you always. Whether you need time to process, to talk, or even just to have a bit of quiet, I'll be here. And just to be clear, no matter what happens, you're my friend, Applejack. That's not going to change. I care about you more than I can express, and nothing, not even these horrible rumors, will change that. Thank you again for writing. Take care of yourself. I'll be here when you're ready, and I'll be keeping an eye on you in the best non-creepy way possible, with all my love and support. Twilight.
Hey, Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo. I've been sitting here at the farmhouse rubbing this little enchanted stone Twilight sent us over some paper, and I gotta admit, it's pretty neat that I can send letters this way. Even though I haven't been to school or anything for the past few days, at least I still can talk to you both. I miss you so much. You would not believe what it's like here right now. Everyone's been trying to stay inside, trying to avoid reporters and all the nonsense outside. Big Mac and Granny told them it's private property. For now, they're all on the road and bunched around the gate rather than on the farmland itself. Still, it's hard. Big Mac and Sugar Belle are working hard to keep things going around the farm, but it's not the same. Applejack was always the one in charge, but she's just going through the motions right now. There's no pep in her step anymore. Sometimes, it's like she sleeps standing up. I can have a whole conversation with her, and then later on she won't remember a darn thing I said. She goes out to do chores, but we find her just standing on the porch staring at the reporters instead. Big Mac's working double time just to keep up. Sugar Belle's helping too, and her unicorn magic sure has been helpful around the farm, but I know she's worried about Applejack just like I am. We all are. Last night, right after she told us about the magic stone Twilight sent us, I was passing by Applejack's room and I heard her crying. I didn't think I'd ever hear that. Applejack's always been so tough. She always brags that she can only cry on the inside. But there she was, crying behind that closed door like I'd never heard before. I just stood there, feeling like I should do something, but not knowing what. I wanted to tell her everything would be okay, but I knew she wouldn't want me to see her like that. Plus, what if that ain't the truth? What if things ain't gonna be okay? I don't want to be treated like a little filly anymore, but I don't know how to help my big sister. I always thought that feeling helpless was just part of being a kid. Now, I ain't so sure. I guess maybe that's just part of life too, huh? Sometimes there's nothing you can do to make things better. You just gotta get out of bed each day and put one hoof in front of the other. Even if you don't see end in sight to the bad stuff you're facing. I don't know how much longer we'll be stuck inside, but I really hope you're okay, Sweets and Scoots. I'll miss you both, and I can't wait until this is all over and we can hang out again. From Apple Bloom.
Dear Rainbow Dash, I hope you're doing okay. I just wanted to send you a quick note to check in. It's been difficult, to say the least. With all the press and the rumors, it feels like we're stuck in this storm we can't control, and it's been heavily weighing on me. I also wanted to try out this enchanted stone Twilight sent me and see if I could reach you more easily. I figured it would be a good way to check on you after the retraction in the Gazette. You've always been there for me, and I just want you to know I'm here for you too, no matter what. I've been staying inside a lot, trying to avoid the reporters and keep my animals calm. They've been a little nervous with all the outside noise, and it's hard to settle them with all the chaos. I've been leaning on Discord a bit, but even he's been more unpredictable than usual. He's been trying to help, but his ways aren't exactly helpful. I had to turn down a couple of his ideas, like the one where he wanted to magically alter the Gazette's archives to make the whole story disappear and alter the minds of every pony to forget it ever existed. The one where he wanted to turn every reporter in Equestria inside out. I know his heart is in the right place, but I just don't think making things worse is the solution. He didn't take it well and ended up staying in his own pockets mansion last night. I guess he's feeling the pressure too. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I believe in all of us. Together we can face whatever comes. Take care of yourself, Rainbow. I'm sending you all my support and love. I hope we can talk soon. Yours, Fluttershy.
Flutters, thanks for the letter. Honestly, it's been hard as heck being stuck here at Wonderbolt HQ. The legal team had to get involved, and now I'm on lockdown after they got that retraction from the Gazette. Spitfire's pissed at me for causing all this trouble, so I can't leave to help in Ponyville. So yeah, having this enchanted stone from Twilight is the only good thing that came out of this mess. I'm so done with all the gossip and lies. It's like no matter what we do, it keeps getting worse. I can't believe how far this has gone. It makes my blood boil that we're all stuck in this. I just want you to know that I'm with you. I can't do much from here, but we'll get through this. We always do. But damn, it's hard to see Applejack, Rarity, and Twilight get torn apart like this. I'm dealing with my own crap here, but when I get back, we'll figure this out. Until then, stay strong. We got this, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Take care, and don't let this mess break you. Rainbow Dash.
Applejack's Violent Outburst. Is she a danger to Equestria's elite? By Gilded Pen. In a jaw-dropping display of aggression, Applejack, the once beloved farm pony from Sweet Apple Acres and once hero of Equestria, lost control in front of a group of reporters, raising serious concerns about her temperament and whether she belongs near the royal circle. What began as a routine encounter with the press quickly escalated into an uncontrollable fit of rage that has left many questioning the judgment of Princess Twilight Sparkle and Rarity for maintaining ties with her. According to eyewitnesses, Applejack was so enraged by the sight of our press team that her brother Big Mac and her sister Applebloom had to physically restrain her from charging at them. She was ready to buck down anything in her path, said one onlooker. I was scared for my life, another told us. In a furious outburst, Applejack reportedly bucked a nearby apple tree so hard that it fell to the ground. This unprecedented show of physical violence has sparked further questions about Applejack's emotional stability, especially in light of her close relationships with Princess Twilight and Rarity. Is this the kind of pony who should be anywhere near the throne? The fact that Applejack's family had to intervene suggests that her anger is not just something she can manage on her own, let alone in the public eye. Even more concerning, sources close to the situation are now asking whether Applejack has ever used violence to maintain control over her relationships with Princess Twilight and Rarity. Has her fiery temper ever been used to intimidate or even force the two powerful mayors to follow her will? These are troubling questions that deserve answers, especially as the farm pony's unpredictable behavior becomes more of a public spectacle. While some defend her actions as a reaction to the media's invasive behavior, it's hard to ignore the growing concern that Applejack's volatility makes her a liability to the royal circle. With her temper flaring out of control, it seems more and more unlikely that she has the emotional stability required for the responsibilities that come with being involved with Princess Twilight, Sparkle, and Rarity. As the media storm intensifies, one thing is clear. Applejack's actions are starting to overshadow the efforts of her friends, and the questions surrounding her behavior are only going to grow. Will Princess Twilight and Rarity continue to silently stand by their lover, or will they have to surrender their connections to a pony whose rage seems impossible to contain? Stay tuned for more updates as this explosive situation unfolds.
Dear Twilight, I can hardly bring myself to even write this. My pen is shaking in my magic with how wrathful I feel. That last article, that absurd, entirely disgraceful piece of journalism from the Gazette, it has left me utterly disgusted. To claim that Applejack is a violent danger to others is beyond the pale. What kind of world do we live in where Pony's most vulnerable moments are twisted into something so cruel, so hurtful? Applejack has been through so much, and she always tries her best to do the right thing, and yet this malicious gossip continues to spew from the mouths of those who clearly don't care about the real truths. What she needs right now is support, not to be painted as some kind of uncontrollable monster. I can't stand it. How dare they attack my friend like this? How dare they attack us for standing by her? These lies have been going on long enough. Applejack does not deserve this kind of treatment. None of us do. Pinkie Pie has been staying with me for a while, but she was so worried about Applejack that she felt she couldn't stay here any longer. She's gone off to see her and help her, the way she helped me when I was at my lowest. Of course, I refused to let dear Pinkie storm off through the front doors with all those reporters salivating on my doorstep. And I absolutely was not about to flush her back down the toilet let she be proposed. So I did what I do best. I got creative. You would be amazed at how small Pinkie managed to fold herself up to fit into Derpy's mailbag. I honestly didn't think it was possible, but there she was, all packed up in a little parcel. I suppose it's a good thing Derpy is as strong as she is, because she carried Pinkie like she was any other piece of mail. No trouble at all. I suppose that's one more absurd memory in the truly bizarre time we are living in. Now that Pinkie is gone, I have to admit I miss her. I don't think I'd feel so cutely, but her absence is truly felt. The boutique feels empty without her constant energy bouncing around. Even her strange quirks, such as when she would try and shove more cupcakes in the oven than it could hold. Oh, I miss those two. I know she's doing what she thinks is right, and I cannot fault her for her dedication to her friends, and I shall be fine in the long run, but it is not the same here without her. I need you to know, Twilight, that I am still here for you too. This isn't easy on any of us, but I refuse to let these lies and accusations tear us apart. We will get through this, even if the world doesn't understand us. We always have, haven't we? Sending my admiration and strength. Rarity.
Hi, Twilight! You are not going to believe what happened today! I am so mad! And I just had to write using that little magic stone you sent me to tell you everything! Okay, so, that awful latest article in the Gazette? The one where they called Applejack violent and dangerous? I was so mad when I read it! I could have popped like a balloon! How could they say such awful things about her? Applejack is the kindest, nicest, most loyal pony in all of Equestria! So, I just had to go and check on her. Especially since she hasn't been talking to anyone and I could tell from her bucking down one of her precious trees that she's not doing great. I wanted to make sure she's coping and, if possible, cheer her up. But I couldn't exactly walk out of Carousel Boutique and walk into Sweet Apple Acres with all those rotten reporters out there. Now, you know how sneaky and super clever I am, right? But did you know that Rarity is even sneakier and smarter than me? She came up with the most brilliant plan ever to get me in without getting caught. She had me sneak into Sweet Apple Acres in Derpy Hooves' mailbag. I mean, how genius is that? She's such a mastermind. All I had to do was fold myself all up in a neat little bundle and poof, I was ready to go. It was perfect. I'm so glad I have such a smart, awesome, beautiful friend who comes up with the best ideas. But then everything went wrong, of course. The bag tore just as Derpy was flying over the crowd of reporters, pretending she was delivering regular mail like any other day. I tried to keep it together. Before I knew it, splat! I fell right into the middle of the reporters. They swarmed me, pulling at my mane and tail, asking me the most ridiculous questions. Why are you here? Is Applejack secretly a princess now? And of course, why is she so violent? It made my stomach turn. The reporters were grabbing at me from all sides, pulling on my mane and tail like they were trying to untangle a knot. Some of them yanked so hard that I could feel whole chunks coming out. It hurt a lot, Twilight. Then somehow my back leg got twisted all wrong and I heard this awful pop sound. Oh, Celestia, I thought it was ding-dang broken. I let out a really big scream. I couldn't move to make it stop. It was all tangled up in the crowd and every pony was yanking at me like I was some kind of piñata. It was all loud and hurty and smelly and I couldn't catch my breath through the pain. There was no way out. Derpy tried to come help me, but there were so many reporters everywhere. She was hovering up high, trying to see where I was and calling my name. But she couldn't even see me on the ground under all those ponies, let alone much less get close enough to do anything. Just when I thought I was done for, Big Mac, Applejack, and Sugarbowl came galloping out like total heroes. Big Mac started yelling at the reporters to get lost, Applejack was livid, and Sugarbowl used her magic to pull me out of the mess. They all managed to get me inside the farmhouse, but not before Applejack screamed at the reporters to leave her family alone. You should have heard her, Twilight. She was pissed. And I know that's a swear, but I don't think any other word would do it justice this time. Applejack was P-I-S-S-E-D. Now I'm stuck here in the farm and I feel awful because I didn't mean to make things worse. I just wanted to make sure Applejack was okay, you know? But the reporters won't leave, so I can't leave either. I can't even get myself flushed out through the sewer pipes. Even though the apples are much less prissy than Rarity when it comes to sewage. Because of my leg! Granny Smith was a total lifesaver though. She helped me with my injury, Twilight. It hurt like crazy, but she told me it wasn't broken, just dislocated. And then pow! She popped it right back into place like it was no big deal. I swear, she's got the strength of a whole apple orchard in that little old body of hers. It didn't even feel like I was being fixed by an old pony. Now my leg's feeling a whole lot better. Though I'll still be limping for a while. And she told me I'm absolutely not allowed to scrunch myself up to sneak into a mailbag or through the pipes. I hope things are going better for you in Canterlot than they are here. Sprinkles and cupcakes from Pinkie Pie.
Equestria's Elite Gossip Gazette exclusive expose. Applejack and Pinkie Pie. The scandalous romance that could rock Equestria. By Gilded Pen. In a jaw-dropping, eye-opening revelation that has sent shockwaves through Equestria, our sources at Sweet Apple Acres have uncovered a scandalous secret between Applejack and Pinkie Pie that no one could have predicted. What was once just a heartwarming friendship may, in fact, be something much more forbidden. Could Applejack and Pinkie Pie be hiding a passionate affair from the public eye and Applejack's other lovers? The shocking truth is finally coming to light. The astonishing encounter. Yesterday outside Sweet Apple Acres, amid a frenzy of reporters clamoring for answers to which they are entitled due to freedom of the press, Applejack and Pinkie Pie were seen in what could only be described as a highly intimate embrace. Witnesses say Applejack, unable to contain her affection, swooped Pinkie Pie off her hooves and carried her inside the farmhouse as if she were her lover. The gesture was undeniably tender, and the way she cradled Pinkie Pie seemed to betray an emotional connection that goes beyond mere friendship. They went in together, touching the whole time, no hesitation. One eyewitness recalled, clearly stunned. It was so intimate, like something straight out of a romance novel. You could feel the electricity between them. This shocking display of closeness comes hot on the heels of a public spectacle involving the reporters that has already become infamous in equestrian gossip circles. During the frenzy, Applejack was seen screaming at the press in a fit of rage, demanding that they leave her family alone. But what's more telling is her fierce declaration when she referred to Pinkie Pie as family, an unusual choice of words considering how close the two seemed to be in that moment. Could Applejack's attachment to Pinkie go far beyond the bounds of a simple friendship? Is she trying to protect Pinkie as more than just a friend? Legal suppression or truth? The most intriguing part of the story are the swirling rumors suggesting that the truth behind this alleged romance may be suppressed by questionable legal tactics. Insiders whisper that Applejack's close association with some of Equestria's top lawyers, as facilitated by her friend Rainbow Dash, could be keeping the press from digging deeper into this explosive story. It's all too convenient, and the Gazette has already been suppressed once by these spurious means. Could the truth beyond the truth we have already reported be locked away under these potential threats of legal suppression? But we, Equestria's elite gossip gazette, are here to give our readers what they deserve. The full, uncensored truth as we see it. Applejack's violent outbursts at the press and her clear lovingness with Pinkie Pie cannot simply be swept under the rug. Our sources insist that this romance is real, and they claim that the only reason it hasn't come to surface until now is because of the threat of legal shields keeping it hidden from the public eye. But don't worry, beloved readers. We won't stop until the entire story is revealed, no matter how hard they try to silence us. Princess Twilight and Rarity in the crossfire. The implications of this secret relationship are more explosive than anyone could have anticipated. Sources say that Princess Twilight Sparkle and Rarity were both blindsided by Applejack's sudden display of affection towards Pinkie Pie. Could this be a betrayal? Rarity particularly is said to be furious and refuses to come out of her shop to talk to reporters. Insiders suggest that she feels betrayed by Applejack's sudden public closeness with another pony who is not in their polyamorous power trio, especially since her own bond with the feisty farm mare has always been much more complex. But the questions don't stop there. Is this all leading to a love triangle? Or should that be a love rhomboid? Could the once strong connection between Applejack and Princess Twilight be at risk of being torn apart? Could Pinkie Pie have been playing both sides all along, stirring up chaos where there was once peace? As for Applejack, one thing is clear, she is not taking this lightly. She has now enacted 2 violent outbursts towards reporters, which is testament to just how much this whole situation she has carefully concocted is unraveling her. What's next? The saga continues to evolve, and the question on every pony's lips is, what will happen next? Will Applejack's secret love affair with Pinkie Pie finally be exposed for all to see? Or will the legal teams of Equestria's elite suppress the truth, despite the Gazette's attempts to defy them in the name of honesty? We represent the kind of honesty that the likes of Applejack could never truly embody. We won't stop until every last secret is spilled. Equestria's elite gossip gazette, your source for the scandalous truth.
To the editors of Equestria's elite gossip gazette. I've been following your reporting of this whole Poly Trio scandal closely, and I have to say, after reading the latest article about Applejack and Pinkie Pie, I am absolutely convinced it's all true. This is no surprise to anyone with a bit of common sense. It is clear as day now that the former elements of harmony, Twilight Sparkle, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Fluttershy, are all caught up in some kind of polycule together. An omnisip, if you will. Think about it. These mares have been inseparable for years, always hanging out together, never letting anyone else truly penetrate the group. Sorry, Glimmer tried, but she was never actually part of their sextuplet. It's all so obvious now. I mean, come on! Twilight, the princess, always spending so much time with 5 ordinary ponies, always showing up for every event they hold, no matter how small, even when it's not really her responsibility? No wonder! She's deeply involved in their web of tangled love and deceit. If anything, I'm surprised it took this long for the truth to come out. It's so obvious. This has been happening for years, no doubt about it. The fact that they were all always involved in each other's lives, always supporting one another so strongly, it's all making sense now. You'll see, mark my words, they've been running this whole show together all along. What a mess! Source in disbelief, a very observant citizen.
To Equestria's elite gossip gazette. I've been watching this whole spectacle unfold, and I think I've cracked the code. All the clues are there if you just open your eyes. Applejack isn't just some down-home farm pony caught up in the drama. Oh, no. She's the mastermind. That's right. Applejack is secretly running the entire show, pulling the strings of the former elements of harmony like a puppet master. And through them, ruling over all Equestrians, because she is part of the shadowy cabal of which we've all heard whispers. The Illuminati. Think about it. Applejack's always been the quiet and reliable element of harmony bearer, right? The one every pony trusts. What better cover for a secret ruler than pretending to be a stupid, hick farm pony? She's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, manipulating Twilight Sparkle, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy into doing her bidding. They aren't just her friends, they're her pawns! Why else would Twilight Sparkle, the literal princess of friendship, suddenly lose control of her public image? Why would Rarity, who has so carefully worked on her public persona, be dragged into these ridiculous scandals? Why would Pinkie Pie throw herself into the middle of a media frenzy when that makes no sense for her to do since she wasn't even involved? It's all part of Applejack's master plan to consolidate power and distract us from what she's really up to. And don't even get me started on Sweet Apple Acres. Ever notice how it's conveniently located smack dab in the middle of Equestria, right next to the deadly Everfree Forest? It's the perfect headquarters for a secret society bent on controlling everything. You think all those apples are just for cider? Wake up, ponies! That's not a farm, it's a front! Probably hiding underground tunnels, secret meeting rooms, and who knows what else. And let's talk about her violence streak. The way she screamed at those reporters and bucked down a whole tree. That's not the behavior of a pony under pressure, that's a slip of the mask. The real Applejack came out for a moment and it was terrifying. She's not just the leader of the Illuminati, she's their enforcer too. She'll do whatever it takes to keep her secrets hidden. Even kill ponies! It's no coincidence that all the other elements have been dragged into this mess. She's controlling them, using their reputations as shields while she pulls the strings in the shadows. Twilight's authority, Rarity's charm, Rainbow Dash's speed, Fluttershy's kindness, and Pinkie Pie's unpredictability. They're all just tools in Applejack's arsenal to keep herself in power. Mark my words, this isn't the end of it. Applejack's got plans, big ones, and she's been using her friends, her secret lovers, to build her power base for years. The press needs to dig deeper because I guarantee there's a conspiracy here bigger than any of us yet realize. The truth is out there. Stay vigilant, ponies. The Illuminati is real, and Applejack is at the helm. Yours in eternal suspicion, a truly awake pony.
To the editors of the Elite Gossip Gazette. Well, what do we have here? I'll tell you what, undeniable proof that Applejack is not only the shadowy mastermind pulling the strings of Equestria, but also the secret reason the former elements of harmony are falling apart at the seams. Let's start with Rarity. She's holed up in Carousel Boutique, claiming she's just trying to avoid the press. But I know the truth. She's in withdrawal. That's right, withdrawal from Applejack's special attentions. Every pony knows Rarity has a flair for the dramatic, but this time, it's not her fainting couch that's calling her. It's her desperate need for Applejack's bucking sessions. She can't face the world because she's too busy battling the cravings for whatever Applejack has been dishing out to her behind closed doors, before their dirty little secret was revealed. And then there's Pinkie Pie. Oh, Pinkie Pie, do you seriously expect us to believe she just happened to end up at Sweet Apple Acres, stuffed into a mailbag due to be delivered there? No way. That pony couldn't last another minute without her fix from Applejack, so she concocted the most ridiculous scheme to sneak back to the farm. The second she landed in that crowd of reporters, you could practically see the desperation on her face. She wasn't there for friendship, folks. She was there because she couldn't go another moment without her next dose of Applejack's magic touch. And why wouldn't they all be addicted? Let's be real, Applejack clearly has something going on under Sweet Apple Acres. A secret sex dungeon where she keeps the rest of the elements under her spell. She's not just the element of honesty, she's the element of dominance! Why else would they all keep coming back for more? Twilight Sparkle might be a princess, but even she can't resist Applejack's persuasive talents. Wake up, Equestria! This isn't just some little polycule drama. It's a full-blown sex scandal. And Applejack is at the center of it all. The sooner we uncover what's really happening in that farmhouse and below it, the sooner we'll understand why Equestria's so-called heroes can't seem to escape her grip. Yours in outrage and investigation. A very perceptive reader.
To the editors of the Elite Gossip Gazette. I couldn't help but chuckle at the recent letter accusing Applejack of being the secret dominatrix pulling the strings behind Equestria's most famous group of ponies. Really? Applejack? That's who they picked? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure she's got some authoritative charm about her, and she can shout up a storm, as evidenced by recent events. But if we're going to talk about who's really calling the shots behind the scenes, there's only one possible answer, and that's Fluttershy. Yes, Fluttershy. The shy, sweet, butter wouldn't melt Pegasus who wouldn't hurt a fly. That's exactly why it's the perfect cover. Every pony thinks she's all about tea parties and animal rescues, but what if she's actually the mastermind behind everything? If Applejack is supposedly the muscle of this secret dominatrix operation, then Fluttershy is the shadowy puppet master pulling her strings. Why do you think Fluttershy spends so much time in her little cottage, far away from prying eyes? Because she's secretly running the most exclusive dominatrix operation in all of Equestria. That's why. Mistress Silence, they call her in Cloudsdale. That's why she really moved to Ponyville during a time period when only Earth ponies and odd unicorns lived there. Ever notice how calm and composed she is compared to with how she used to be in her public appearances after the feat of Nightmare Moon and the Grand Galloping Gala? It's not anything mundane like character growth or psychological development. It's because she spent years perfecting the art of control so no pony realizes the truth. Her stare isn't just for animals. It's her ultimate power move to keep ponies she dominates in line. And don't even get me started on the poly whatever you call it situation. Fluttershy isn't just a participant. She's the real architect. Applejack may be hogging the spotlight right now, but you can bet Fluttershy is the one whispering orders in her ear, probably while biting it. Who else could make Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and even Pinkie Pie fall in line like a well-trained pack of critters? Not to mention the princess herself. I mean, think about it. Applejack might be loud and commanding, but Fluttershy has subtle authority. She doesn't need to yell to get what she wants. She can make a pony do anything with just a soft word and a tilt of her head. It's genius, really. And let's not forget her connections with Discord. Who better to recruit for her elaborate schemes than the literal spirit of chaos? She has had him wrapped around her hoof since he was unfrozen from stone. You think any pony would ever dare to cross her while he is looming behind her as a threat she can command at her every whim? So, while every pony's busy pointing hooves at Applejack, remember that the quietest pony in the room is usually the one you need to watch. Fluttershy isn't just the gentle caretaker of Equestria. She's the true dominatrix behind the scenes, running the show while every pony else scrambles to keep up. Yours in uncovering the real truth, a thoroughly amused theorist.
To the editors of the Elite Gossip Gazette. I've been a faithful reader of your esteemed publication for years, but the recent letter regarding Mistress Silence, compelled me to write in at once. I am a patron of many arts, and I've seen Mistress Silence in Cloudsdale. I won't apologize or feel ashamed for that, but I have to say, upon reading that letter, I realized the theory that she's actually Fluttershy is not only plausible, it's practically undeniable. Picture this, a buttery yellow Pegasus with a pale pink mane and tail, the kind of soft, unassuming pelt colors that just scream, I'm harmless. But let me tell you, she is anything but. Mistress Silence keeps her mane tied up as she doesn't want it getting in the way while she's working. She's always wearing a shiny black vinyl bodysuit that clings to everything except her head like a second skin. Even her wings look sharp when she's striding through the room, commanding attention without saying a single word. Her whole thing is that she doesn't speak. And now I realize that's because her voice would be an absolute giveaway for her identity. There's no way this isn't Fluttershy. She may be playing coy in Ponyville where they don't know any better. But in the underbelly of Cloudsdale's red light district, she's running the show up there. She doesn't have to shout or stomp her hooves to get what she wants. Her presence alone is enough to make ponies practically fall over themselves to obey. She carries a riding crop tucked up under one wing like it's a part of her anatomy, and a ball gag under the other, like they're ready to be used at a moment's notice. It's not even subtle! The mask, though, that's the real kicker. It covers her entire face, leaving just her piercing, judgmental eyes visible. They say so much with just a glance, let me tell you. That's how she gets you. One look, one stare, and you're hers to command. And let's talk about that stare. We've all heard the stories of how Fluttershy can freeze a cockatrice in its tracks or make a manticore cower. Well, let me tell you, that same energy radiates from Mistress Silence. You don't want to mess up in her presence because one look from her will have you begging for forgiveness before you even realize what you did wrong. I've always thought Fluttershy's little animal sanctuary was a bit too convenient of a cover. How does she pay her bills with that freebie operation? What better way to justify long trips to Cloudsdale than claiming you're visiting your bird friends? I'm just saying, it all adds up. So, to whoever wrote the last letter, I'm with you 100%. Mistress Silence is Fluttershy. She's just been too clever for us to catch on until now. But the truth has a funny way of coming out, doesn't it? Yours in awe of her brilliance, a well-traveled witness.
Hey, Fluttershy. Okay, what the actual hey is wrong with ponies right now? This whole thing about you being some dominatrix called Mistress Silence, running a secret poly whatever it is with all of us? Are they fucking serious? Like, you're shy, you're sweet, you spend your days taking care of squirrels and knitting sweaters for snakes. Where do they even get this stuff? Do they think you're secretly running an Equestria from some underground dungeon while we're all brainwashed slaves or something? It's stupid! I can't even right now! Look, you and I both know you couldn't boss around a pancake, let alone the rest of us. I mean, I'm Rainbow Dash. I don't get controlled, okay? And the idea of me being in some weird dominatrix love whatever thing with you and the others? Yeah, no. Hard pass. And like, Rarity couldn't even go more than 5 seconds in something like that without making it about her. Let alone Applejack? Ha! She'd lasso her way out of this nonsense faster than a fruit bat on a cider. Honestly, I'm so pissed off I almost wrote a letter to that dumb gossip rag myself. But I'm still stuck on lockdown here at Wonderbolt's HQ, and the legal team would totally blow a gasket if they even thought about it. After the whole mess last time, they had to get the retraction for those stupid accusations against me, and they made it really clear that I'm not allowed to do anything that could drag the Wonderbolt's good name into this shitstorm again. Like, sorry, I almost got our entire squad cut up in this gossip war while trying to protect my friends from being done to them. My bad. Also, for the record, I've never been to the Cloudsdale Red Light District. Not for fun, not for Soaring's birthday, not for anything. Just throwing that out there. No reason. Look, we've been through dumber rumors than this, right? Like, remember the time some pony thought I was secretly part griffin because Gilda stayed at my place for like a week? This'll all blow over just like that one did. Ponies just can't handle how awesome we are, so they make up ridiculous garbage just because their lives are boring. You good? Let me know if you want to vent or want to visit me here at HQ. If you do, bring cider. Later, Rainbow Dash.
Dear Rainbow Dash, oh my goodness. I can tell how upset you are about this, and I just want you to know that I completely understand. I wish I could fly over to the Wonderbolts HQ right now and help you sort it all out, but I can't without running into reporters if I try to leave town. I'll do my best to reassure you here. First of all, I am not Mistress Silence. I know the resemblance might make it seem convincing, but that's because Mistress Silence is actually my cousin. Her name is Fluffy Wings. You might remember her from the birthday party at my parents' house last year. You spent quite a lot of time chatting with her after you had, well, maybe a little too much hard cider. I remember you two laughing together in the corner. I thought it was nice that you headed off. She told me that you were absolutely adorable, though she told me later that you're not quite her type. I'm sorry if that's embarrassing to hear, but I thought you might want to know. She's really sweet when you get to know her. What she does in Cloudsdale is definitely not my area of expertise, but it makes her happy, and I'm proud of her for being so successful as an independent small business owner. I know being stuck at HQ and having to stay quiet about this all must be so frustrating for you. I wish I could do more to help, but I hope this clears things up a little. Please don't feel helpless, Rainbow. This will blow over soon, I just know it. Take care of yourself, okay? And if you need to vent, you can always write to me again. These magic stones Twilight sent us really are a lifesaver. Your friend, Fluttershy.
To the Editor-in-Chief of Equestria's Elite Gossip Gazette. Your decision to print multiple letters falsely accusing Fluttershy of being connected to my professional persona, Mistress Silence, is a deliberate and disgraceful choice. By selectively amplifying these baseless claims, you have shown a clear intent to slander her reputation and drag my name into your sensationalist smear campaign. Let me make this perfectly clear. Fluttershy has no connection to my work, and your actions are as transparent as they are desperate. Your editorial choices have crossed the line from irresponsible journalism into malicious defamation. Retract these accusations and issue an immediate public apology. Failure to comply will result in swift and decisive legal action. And before you dismiss this as an idle threat, consider how certain details regarding clandestine visits from members of your own staff to my establishment might be received if revealed. I am a professional, but my patience is not infinite. You have one chance to correct this. Obey. Mistress Silence.
Internal Comment Inc. To Gilded Pen. From Brass Tacks, Editor-in-Chief, Equestria's Elite Gossip Gazette. Subject, change the focus. Gilded Pen. Drop the Fluttershy's Mr. Silence angle immediately. I don't care how juicy you think it is. This is non-negotiable. Shift your focus back to Applejack being the shadowy manipulator behind her friends. Push it. That's the narrative we're running with. It's been selling issues like hotcakes. Ponies love the idea of Applejack as the mastermind. Give them more of that. Also, let me make this clear. The Mistress Silence angle is off limits. It's dangerous. We can't afford to poke that hornet's nest again. You know why. If you don't, trust me when I say you don't want to find out. Stay focused on Applejack. Stir the pot there. This scandal has been our biggest hit, and we're not letting it die because of sloppy reporting. Do your job. Brass Tacks, Editor-in-Chief.
together.